This video today is going to be talking about whatever you believe is what you'll have. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I know there's just a drab session, complaining all the time, every day. There's nothing else. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, you want to hear it, definitely stay on. If not, I definitely understand. So like I said, I definitely want to bring this video today because I facilitated a group yesterday. And some of you all don't, of course, let me tell you who I am. I'm Janetta Clay. I'm a social worker and I'm a life coach as well. And I'm a car, y'all. And I facilitate caregiver support groups in the actual social work job that I do. Now this car passed by, y'all. And like I said, there was two people who were having a hard time with the other folks. Of course, the people, they were talking about, of course, just happiness and having that little mini joy of happiness, even if it's a minute, or even if it's, I love that purple shirt somebody has on, or I love that food I just ate, or that kind of thing, something to be grateful for every day. And I know some of us sometimes, of course, are not grateful for different things. It just depends. I just realized I didn't have my headset on, but hopefully y'all can still hear me. Can you still hear me, sis? Good morning. I hope you're well. But like I said, sometimes there's folks that you run into and that you, of course, whether you work with or or family or whoever, that cannot see the positive side of life at all. They're just looking at the negative side and what's going on and what they cannot do. And they're constantly telling themselves, I cannot do this, or I don't like this, and this is happening, and this is getting on my nerve, and blah, blah, that kind of thing. But what I know is that, excuse me, but what I know is that going through life, yes, there's going to be, while there's not always positive and while there's not always negative, we are going to have some down times. I've had down moments and depressed times and all that kind of stuff too. I've had happy moments. I mean, I have more happy moments than I have the down moments, but still, I still do have those things. And like I said, I know that when those down moments come, or the negative thoughts, or whatever the case may be, I know that I have to be intentional about, like I said, injecting some type of happiness into my life every day, or every moment I get. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, even if it's something you see on TV that you liked, or a food that you liked, or you baked a cake and it turned out well, or whatever it is. Like I said, I know that there are some ways to inject happiness, but you have to be intentional about it. And like I said, just, excuse me, y'all. And like I said, just listen to these two ladies specifically talk about just how nothing's ever happy. They're never going to have a life where they can do anything they want to do. And they're never going to have a life where they have a smile or a laugh or anything. I'm just like, okay, that's not the truth. But in my mind, because I know sometimes you just can't make folks understand what you're talking about. I guess I put it that way. So, of course, like I said, definitely I just put my little 2 cents in there as the facilitator, and just to let them know what I hear the other folks talking about. Y'all, what is going on with my sinuses this morning, y'all? And thanks, sis, for letting me know that you can hear me. Thank you, because I wasn't sure, because I forgot I didn't have the headset. I have it on, but I didn't have it in my ear, but it's okay. Thank you for letting me know. And like I ended the meeting yesterday, just letting them know that anytime that we, of course, and just putting happiness or some kind of joy or anything into your life is always possible. Like I said, just takes intention. Yes, I know everybody's situation is different. I know they're caregivers. I understand the situation as well. But what I also know is that I heard I can't do anything about this situation, and it's always going to be like this, and that's definitely not the truth. Yeah, it's a bug out here, y'all. But like I said, that is definitely not the truth. Your situation is always not going to be the same. It just depends on what you're willing to do to change your situation. Like I said, definitely being intentional about it as well. And if you're not being intentional about it, or trying to at least, what is that? Trying to at least look at the options, like I said, you're never going to have them. That's how that works. And that's why I said that whatever you believe, you're going to have. I know that for a fact because in my life I did the same thing too. Every other year was a bad year, and I kept saying that all the damn time. But when I was growing up. And I know that, but looking back, I know that now. I guess I put it that way. That every year wasn't a bad year until I said it was going to be a bad year and focus on having a bad year and something happening, all this kind of stuff, which I did. What is that noise? Trying to figure out what's going on. I guess somebody's working on something, y'all. But like I said, I definitely have to realize that myself, that in order for me to have the life, not just have the life that I wanted, but have a healthier mental health and emotional health that I wanted. I put it that way. I had to start thinking a little bit more positive in some aspects. It wasn't just going to happen because I said so. I actually had to start thinking that way and finding the little things that, of course, made me happy. I don't care if it was a baby that smiled at me at the grocery store that made me happy. I don't care if it was the blue shirt I put on that made me happy that day. And like I said, sometimes I know, because like I said, I've been there too, but sometimes we can put ourselves in a funk so low, we can't even get out of it, well, quick enough, I guess I put it that way. And some folks never get out of it, actually. I know that because I've seen that. Let me go this way. I don't want to have to go on the big street. I'm trying not to, y'all. I'm walking across this little plank of wood that's down on the floor. Oh my goodness. Like a little seesaw almost. All right. Like I said, we have to believe that we can have that joy, that we can have some happiness. These are beautiful flowers, y'all. I know it's bees in here, I'm sure, but these beautiful trees where I'm walking at this morning. I don't know if you see those trees. Those are beautiful. Goodness gracious. Even that brought me joy this morning. Like I said, there are small things that anybody can find to bring you joy, only if you want that. If you don't want it, then I know there's some people who don't want it. And like I said, I can tell by these few people, just like, okay, that's never, well, I ain't gonna say never, not supposed to say never, but you can always tell those who are wanting something different or want to think something different or want to have that better mental health and that emotional health. You can tell those who don't by the things that they say and the things that they do and the things they always focus on. And like I said, I know everybody in this world can have a small piece of joy every day if they want it, regardless as to how bad their situation is. I know they were talking about caregiving, but I could have sat there and complained about my whole upbringing. Hey, I didn't have this. Hey, I didn't have that. Okay, I didn't have it. That's fine. I can get it now. That's what matters, to me at least. Nobody's going to have a perfect life anywhere that I know of. If they tell you that, I'm sure they're lying to you as well. But nobody's going to have that. Everybody's going to have some kind of issue, problem, situation. I don't know, something that comes up. Life or death situations, low money situations, whatever the situation, everybody's going to go through something. But we have to, like I said, in my eyes and what I've known and what I've seen within myself and others that I work with, you have to be intentional about, like I said, about having, even if it's a down moment, downtime, a valley moment, there's still some happiness in there somewhere. I know some days it may not seem like it at all, but like I said, those little glimpses of happiness, even if it's for a second or two, just to let yourself know, your heart, your mind, your soul, that you can have a happy moment, that you can have joy. Like I said, I know sometimes it don't feel that way because we're so bogged down with everything that we have going on, which is understandable. I've been there too, but like I said, you definitely have to figure out what you're going to let go of in order to enjoy your life. I know that sounds horrible to some people, and oh my God, why would you let go of some? But at some point, I had to realize that too. At some point, if I wanted that happiness, if I wanted to my mental, my emotional health to be a little bit better, some people, places, and the things I had to get rid of or lessen the contact with. Listen, a loud thing, y'all, trying to get past. I'm outside walking. Somebody got music on and somebody, this big old loud thing over here. But like I said, I had to realize, I knew that there were options. Some of the options I did not want to take because I was so scared to lose people or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no, maybe I'll try it again another time, or they keep calling me and this kind of thing, and feel sad. I believe I felt like I was doing a disservice by saying no to them when I was doing myself that whole disservice. It wasn't them, it was me that was doing those things. And like I said, that was something I had to realize as well. Somebody coming this way? It is, okay. Trying to see. Like I said, I had to realize that as well. But there's always options to give yourself a break from different things. And to bring some happiness back and to start back feeling like the person that you are and having that happiness or being able to laugh or being able to smile. Like I said, there's always options. Even in caregiving, there's always options. Now, granted, some of those options are going to cost, yes. But there's always options. It's never an end-all, be-all. It's never that. Even though it may look like that. But like I said, it's never that. What I've seen, like I said, within myself and others, that while there's options, it depends on the options that, let me see how to put this. Okay, there are some options that we can do, put it that way, that's going to cause us strife and cause us to feel guilty about saying no, changing our mind, not doing this anymore. Oh, I thought a car was behind me. Like I said, it's going to cause us that. It's going to cause them that too. But like I said, it's going to cause us that. We're so guilty and so down feeling about the whole situation that we don't even take the time to even try to go in that direction. We'd rather just sit there and suffer through the whatever's going on instead of actually finding the help that we need. And even if that means finding a care home for your loved one. Oh, I promised this person this. I understand that. We all make promises to people and all this kind of thing. We get out the way, a car coming. Get out the way. We all make promises. I make promises. But like I said, I had to go back on some. I mean, now I realized I should not be making anybody any promises because I had to go back on some of those things. I promised not to do this, or I promised not to always keep this relationship, whatever the case may be. Yes, of course, I was sad and hurt, guilty, or whichever word you want to use for it too. But I still had to realize that my mental health and my emotional health was more important than that person in that situation. And I know that, like I said, when it comes to us, well, at least for me, changing my mind and changing the situation, yes, it's going to hurt me and it's probably going to hurt the other person as well, I'm sure. But I had to know and I had to understand that like I said, my self-care, my mental health, my emotional health was A1 always first. At some point, it was not always like that at all. At all. I was one of those yes girls, or I'll do this and try and take care of everybody else except for myself for many years, actually. And like I said, that was something that I had to realize that I had to stop doing. Wanting that validation from people to, oh, I was helping, or, oh, thank you, and oh, I needed you at this moment, and I was, okay, I'm steady doing all these things, but I'm losing myself in the process. It doesn't even have to be with caregiving. It could be with anything. Just trying to please your family and be the yes girl for your family, or yes man, boy for your family. That would run you ragged too. But like I said, I know that's because I had those same feelings as well. If I start saying no, are these folks still going to love me or even want to be around me? Because I can't give them what they need anymore. And for some of those people, that was the end, actually. In some situations, yes, it will happen that way. In some situations, yeah, it wasn't the end, that they understood my boundary. After we had discussion about it, I put the boundary out there, whatever the case may be, then it was okay. It can go either way. It does not matter. I ain't gonna say it doesn't matter. For me, it did not matter because I knew I had to start taking care of myself. But I know especially with women, all of us, well, not all, well, to my knowledge, that's how we're raised. To be a caretaker, to take care of everybody else, to put ourselves second, third, fourth, fifth, or whatever, whichever place. Well, not first, I put it that way. Everybody else first, husbands or wife, if you have a wife or whatever, the kids, the job, the school your kids going to, the PTO, all this kind of stuff. That's how we're raised, to take care of everybody like that. Which I'm not sure if it's kind of how we're raised or how we're socialized into. I think it's how we're socialized into, as I'm thinking about it now. But like I said, we have to be the ones to stop that and be okay with that. I know that it's a scary process to say, I don't want to do this anymore for this particular person. I know that. I feel guilty, like the same way I felt guilt, or they're not going to love me no more. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing all that stuff? Yes, everybody's going to have guilt about every situation there is. I don't think there's no guilt-free life that I know of. The only thing I know is that I cannot let that guilt overtake me to the point where I don't even move at all. To the point where I stay being unhappy in the situation that I'm in. Like I said, that's what I know. I know that now. I knew it back then as well, but I did not move on some of those things right away at all. I know damn well that God came into the picture and moved some of them folks, himself, I guess I put it that way. I know that. Because I couldn't have made all that happen, several different situations. Like I said, I couldn't have made all that happen at all. And like I said, what I know is that if you don't move at some point, it's going to eventually happen. It's like I said, but that's how it happened in my life for some of these situations. Some of them I did have to cut things off. I did have to start saying no. Uh-oh, another car. Try to get out the way, y'all. I'm out here walking, these cars coming. All right, 'cause I'm like in the alleyway thing. I'll let them pass because it's music. Oh, good morning.
What are you waiting for?
But like I said, that was something that I had to realize. Either I can stay in that situation. I don't care if it's a caregiving situation with your kids, your adult kids that's constantly telling you need to pay their bills or get money or whatever the case may be, or your teen doing the same thing instead of getting a job, or if it's a relationship that you're in, abusive or not. At some point, we have to cut it off. If we are totally not feeling that we can't have any joy or happiness or anything in our life, and that situation is affecting us that badly, that we feel that we could never get out of this situation. There's no situation that you cannot get out of. Just know that. Like I said before, there's any situation, you have options in everything that you have. I don't care how it may look. Like I said, the thing that I know is that we're the ones whoever's the helper, I put it that way, or the one who's taking all the BS, we're the ones who don't want to say no because we don't want to lose that relationship. Like I said, I know that's in my own experience. That's how that looked. But I know now that some things, my sanity, my mental health, my emotional health is going to cost me some relationships, people, places, and things. I know that. And once you get to a point that you understand that too, and that you're okay with that, trust me, you'll be okay. Things are going to flow a little bit smoother for you. But until that time, that, like I said, that's something that you have to grow to know. I guess I put it that way. And actually start doing, not just talking about it or that kind of thing, or you ain't even got to tell anybody about it. But you have to start taking the action. That's what I figured. I guess in my situation. Yes, I could talk about it all day long, or how I'm sick and tired of this, I'm sick and tired of that, or he getting on my nerve, she getting on my nerve. I'm tired of doing this, I'm sick and tired of all these things. I said that a lot. I'm sure several times a day. Complained several times a day, I'm pretty sure. You can ask anybody that know me. I'm pretty sure some situation around them I have done that with. I'm sure of that. But it wasn't until I started, like I said, taking the action to actually start the saying no. And actually standing on my word of saying no. Not going to pick them up to take them to the grocery store at 12 damn o'clock at night. Saying no because I'm not going to allow you to keep putting me down at in this particular relationship. And standing up for myself. And all the time, not just sometimes. Like I said, it wasn't until I started doing those things that things in my life started happening for me as well, with the mental and emotional health and the boundaries and everything else. But like I said, I had to grow to get to that point. It didn't just happen today and all of a sudden it's done tomorrow. No, it didn't happen that way at all. I had to build myself up to know and let myself know that it is okay to tell somebody no. It is okay to tell somebody to not talk down to you. It is okay to tell somebody that you don't want this relationship no more. It was okay to let somebody know that I wasn't taking care of them anymore. I've had all those situations, actually. And some of the videos that I've shared over the years, you can hear that in those videos. The stories and that kind of thing, too. Like I said, I had to start taking the actions, not just talking about it all the time. Because I'm sick and tired of this and complain. You can, I guess, complain all day long until you put action behind it. Like I said, that's the point that I got to. How is it? So like I said, I definitely want to bring this video to y'all this morning because I know that I'm not the only one, of course, that may have went through something like this, or you know somebody that's going through this, or you're the person that's going through this, and you need to hear that inspiration to, of course, get you moving in a different direction. Just know that it's possible. Nothing is impossible unless we put the limits on it. We stop ourselves a lot of times. I know I have. But we have to be the ones to allow things to happen, I guess I put it that way, and actually move on letting things happen and be okay with letting those things happen. As regardless as to what the other person may tell us, or we're changing, or we acting funny, or we don't want to help them no more. Sometimes our mental health and emotional health, we're stuck in that pattern. Nothing's going to be happy. Nothing's going to be good. You're going to have to do something. I've seen people, I've had other friends rather too that I knew, commit suicide. I even wanted to do it at like two, 3 times in my life because this things had gotten so, at least to me, so bad. And I'm like, okay, I can't change this. This is getting ridiculous. But now I know that it was me the whole time. Me not wanting to put those actions in place in order to make my mental and emotional life a lot healthier. It was me, not them. They're going to do what they're going to do because you allow them. But until you put your foot down and say, I'm not taking this no more, that's when things stop. And you actually take the actions to do those things, not just sit there and talk about it. So with that, y'all, because I'm actually still walking, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here. But like I said, I want to bring this video to y'all today just to let you know that there is hope out there. And there are options for you to become healthier mentally and emotionally. You don't have to deal with the same situation unless you want to. Now, I know this may be like, oh my gosh, she's talking crazy and how's that going to happen? It's never going to change. At some point, you have to do your own gratitude work. What are you grateful for every day? What are you thankful for every day? Doggone thing. The rocks on this doggone ground, I'm grateful for. I can still, okay, I had to cut my Wi-Fi off because I forgot I'm walking and it keeps connecting to things and saying that it's not working. Okay, there we go. But like I said, you have to be the one to take those actions, y'all. And I hope this inspires somebody to, of course, like I said, to start taking care of themselves. Like I said, I know it's definitely not easy, but it's something that you can do. I'm sure that if I came from the environment that I came from and did it too, and it's definitely been worth it. Even though, like I said, I had to lose some of those people, places, and things. That's okay. At least for me, it's okay. But you have to get to a point where it's okay too, especially if you're being affected by someone, something, or a place, whatever it is. Mentally and emotionally, you feel like you cannot get any happiness at all out of the situation. Everything is always drab and dreary and this kind of thing going on, depressed mode. You're like that every day. You can change that, trust me. Like I said, going from a person who was always talking the negative, that's me all the time, and how this year was going to be the worst year and then all this kind of stuff. And it actually did happen, actually. Kept saying it was going to be a bad year, and it actually showed me just that. I'll never get out this thing. I'm always going to have this. And I had to start, I was a teenager when I started stopping, I guess when I stopped saying every year is going to be a bad year. So I used to say that every other year was going to be every other year was going to be a bad year because I used to say that all the time. And I was a teenager when I stopped Because I realized, of course, every time I'm talking about this, you're going to be bad. Here it comes. Somebody passes away. Somebody gets shot and killed. Something happened. We got evicted or whatever the case was when I was growing up. I'm constantly complaining about these things. And just, like I said, whatever you believe is going to stay inside of your life until you decide to get rid of it. And yes, there are some traumas, of course, attached to the things that I was believing back then too. That I'm still working through in counseling. I guess I put it that way. So I just started counseling with the last month. Again, I guess month, I don't know, month or something like that. But like I said, those are things that I have to work on. And you're going to have things that you're going to have to work on too, whether it's attached to trauma or not. But at some point, if you're wanting a happier life and those types of things, just know that there's options, but there's going to have to be some hard ass things that you're going to have to do to have those happy moments and those happy days. Like I said, I had to let go of people, places, and things in order for my life to be a lot happier. And as I'm thinking about it, yes, like I said, it was definitely hard situations to go through and hard conversations to have, but I had to have those conversations in order for me to have my sanity. So again, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, as I know I got to get started with work this morning too. So with that, y'all, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get my butt back inside so I can try to start getting my day started with work and that kind of thing. But like I said, I want to bring out this video this morning to let you know what is possible. It's definitely possible. You don't have to always have that sad, dreary, bad, horrible life unless that's something that you want. Get away from her, fly. But you have to move on those things. Now, I know a lot of people don't want that, but in order for you to have a better life, you have to start moving and taking action on some things that's probably going to hurt some of the folks around you. They want to start what is the word? Gossiping about you. Oh, she thinks she's better than everybody else. I got that too. I have to tell myself, you doggone right. It ain't that I'm better than somebody else, is that I want a better life than those people. I guess I put it that way. I see where their life has taken them to. I don't want that. But I had to amp myself up for these things. So, of course, yes, I was, because I put it that way. And I had to tell myself some of those things, like I said, in order for me to take the actions that I was taking. But you do your own way. I mean, you do it your own way. But like I said, if you want that happiness, that joy, that laughter, those smiles, even if it's once a day, like I said, you can definitely get that, but you have to believe that too. And not just think that everything is always going to be horrible. Everything is always going to be bad. I'm never going to have a good life. I'm never going to be able to do anything. Never going to be able to live my life. If that's how you feel about every single thing and it's all day long, then you're never going to have that until you start looking at the options and what you can do and what you can have. Even if that means placing your loved one into a facility, if you're a caregiver, that's what that means, that in order for you to get some of your life back. There's always options. So with that, y'all, like I said, I hope this video helps somebody today to, like I said, to at least inspire them or empower them to let them know that I can take back my life and I can take charge and control of my life. Because yes, you can. You don't have to be somebody's walking mat all the time at all. Or never, I guess I put it that way, never anymore. But you have to start changing those things. They're not going to change a doggone thing. You have to start changing those things. They love whatever kind of support and care, whatever it is you're giving them. That's what they like. So no, they're not going to stop it. You have to be the one to stop it. Because it's driving you insane. Your mental and emotional health is down the drain. You have to start doing those actions, not them. So with that, y'all, like I said, I definitely hope this inspired somebody. Again, this is Tonetta Clay. Like I said, definitely, if you have any comments, questions, make sure that you put them down in the comments section, of course, so I can respond to you and that kind of thing as well. But I definitely want to hear from you if this is something that you've experienced or something that you're currently going through or something that you currently have worked through. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, definitely let me know. And again, sis, Maria, thank you for tuning on. I really appreciate that because it is almost 7 o'clock in the morning here. I think there is probably like 9, I think. But like I said, definitely thank you, sis. Love you. Take care, y'all. Have a great one.